has been the story for 5,700 years or more. It seems easier to blame, for example, in the last 100 years, on the 100-year anniversary of the World War II, Adolf Hitler beginnings, to blame the Jewish people. Hi, everybody. My name's Stuart Brisgell. This is the Rant Network, a podcast developed with David Solomon and myself to give you an unfiltered response to what the media fails to give you. Right? It's a variety of ideas, a variety of topics, and taking the current news, pop culture, and politics, and so much more at times. Rants about absurdity of modern life and deeper dives affecting society. Whether it's education, whether it's gender relations, whether it's black on white, whether it's straight out anti-Semitism, anti-Ukraine, we're there, guys. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. This is going to be a wild ride. Join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, noon Eastern. David Solomon and I have been doing this now for 3 years. David and Solomon and I have been friends for nearly 45 years. Half a century, David and I, approximately, have been experiencing all levels of anti-Semitism growing up in Montreal, Quebec. The French hated us. The Catholics hated us. Heck, the neo-Nazis hated us. Man, it was rough living in Montreal if you were a Jew for most of our youth. Because at every turn, in the locker room, in the country club, the signs posted, it's the Jews' fault. The fucking kike. Right? Today, the media looks for the opportunity to say it's a Jew's fault. It's Israel's fault. No matter what evidence exists, gotta blame the Jew. It's easier. Fuck them. Kill them. Death to all of them. Because anyone that supports anything other than free choice, freedom to live your life, love your neighbor, is the problem. David?
You know, Stuart, you hit it on the head, and unfortunately,
did you say that again? Say that again, David.
You hit it on the head. Unfortunately, while we could kid, we could joke. The sad part is the reality is that once again, Israel is to blame.
Yep.
On Tuesday, a rocket hit a hospital that allegedly killed some 500 people. I'm saying allegedly because when these things happen, you need to get some fact. And unfortunately, what the world was waiting for, relying upon, especially the liberal media, is when will Israel screw up? There will be a screw up. Israel has to screw up. The law of averages mean a missile is going to hit a school, a hospital, a senior's residence, I don't know what. And this will be our opportunity to blame Israel. But this one was amazing. Because as was proven yesterday, and again, President Biden, who is in Israel, announced this morning, Israel has irrefutable evidence that the rocket was not Israeli, that the rocket belonged to the terrorists.
Wait a second, David. Are you telling me Hamas, Hezbollah, the Ayatollah Khomeini could lie?
So it's not that the world could lie, because we know that. But here's the problem. It's who you believe. So imagine, if you will, and this is the problem I have this morning. We believe the terrorists. We believe the criminals. Israel made up the 1,300 dead and 2,500 injured. Israel made up the pictures of the beheaded babies. Israel made up the pictures of the burnt bodies. Israel painted the floors red in those apartments and houses. And it was no way that this was Hamas, despite irrefutable evidence, despite Hamas posting it on social media. Now, we talked about this on Monday, but the world blamed Israel. So when they couldn't blame Israel so then let's say, well, Israel brought it upon themselves. So that's like the rape victim saying, fuck me. It's
Well,
the
I mean, the
rape victim
Democrats do it all the time.
saying, I deserve to be raped. I think this is amazing. And just follow the themes here about what I'm going at. And now Hamas announces, because they are so truthful in their reporting, because the thousands of dead are reported by Hamas, and that's okay because we'll report whatever Hamas says. We'll argue what Israel says because we need the fact checkers to check it out. But yesterday's rocket immediately got condemnation from liberal media, the Arab world, which is not a surprise, but also from politicians like my idiot Prime Minister King Justin, who was, by the way, at a conference on anti-Semitism in Ottawa yesterday, crapped on Israel saying, how dare you? Only to find out last night and again this morning that it was not an Israeli rocket. The world is quick. CNN yesterday flipped its switch, as expected, to crap all over Israel. Israel's war crimes. This is now being alleged. 10 o'clock, that was the show. They brought up the right talking heads to criticize Israel. That it's Israel's fault. Israel's to blame. Israel's to be pressured. Israel brought this upon herself. I am amazed how Israel and the Jews are guilty from the moment we open up our eyes. It doesn't matter about the facts. Now, Stuart, there was an interesting poll done. Why is Israel and why are Jews being blamed? And it depends on your political inclination, apparently. If you're more conservative leaning, there's a high likelihood that you believe that Israel's right and that the Arabs are, or Hamas is in the wrong. But the more you go to the left, i.e. Democrats, liberals, socialists, the more they blame Israel and support terrorists and support Hamas and throw out silly ideas like Israel should just lay down its arms and just give in to Hamas. The insanity, Stuart, is absolutely unbelievable. Anti-Semitism's up 1,200% for a reason. It's vile.
I heard AOC's interview.
Like I said, yeah.
I heard Talib avoiding the question. I heard today on the news the condemnation they have towards the state of Israel. But you know what the funny part is, Dave? Even if you prove to them, it's never going to be good enough. No matter what you say, you know what? To the woke world, to the liberal world that listens to our podcast, and we know a lot of them, their family in some cases. Some cases, they're old school relationships. Their vitriol hatred towards one man means they have to go the other way, no matter what the consequences. Did we not learn in the recent history of World War II, the Austrian, German, French Jews, Italian Jews, Romanian Jews, Hungarian Jews, Soviet Jews that were just slaughtered? Don't worry, David. People want to know, why are Jewish mothers in America so neurotic? Because it was the neurotic ones and the neurotic gene ones that escaped World War II and escaped the genocide from the genocidal maniacs like the Ayatollah Khomeini, like the AOC, like Talib, like Omar. These people would annihilate an entire. But you want to know what the scary part is, David? To all of our Christian brothers and sisters in the world, you're also an infidel. Your neck is also going to be chopped off. So, today it's the Jews. Today it's the gay, lesbian, transgenders. Today it's the women's that want to have their rights to go to the store without a man and an escort. The women that want to express themselves freely by wearing makeup. To finally, those who want to have the freedom to do what they want, when they want, how they want, within the laws of the land. All of you are an infidel. All of you are a target of these megalomaniacs. You talk about megamaniacs. No, megalomaniacs are the ones that fall under the Ayatollah Khomeini, who has morphed a religion into nothing but vitriol hate. You know, I went to school with some kids that were Muslim, whose parents were, I guess, liberal to an Ayatollah Khomeini. They weren't allowed to drink. They weren't allowed to do all the things. They were encouraged to be friends with their non-Muslim friends and neighbors, encouraged to be a part of the modern world. Remember this, everyone. We're not ranting just because we're two Jewish guys in the East Coast of North America. We're telling you the facts. They're slitting the throats.
Well,
They slit the throats of people that were from all walks of life and all religion. You know, in a kibbutz, you have to be
Stuart, you know what, Stuart, you know what's scary? Stuart, I'm sorry to cut you off, but you know what's scary based on what you just
what?
said?
That I'm right?
Aside
Oh,
from
wow.
that,
Twice in one breath.
you know the expression pulling the wool over your eyes or being duped or being fooled? The Arab world has taken us all for fools. They've taken advantage of, well, everybody's blaming weak leadership. And yes, there's weak leadership in the West. We see it. Okay? But here's what they've caught on to. It's the CNN mantra. Let's play it on CNN. Let's play on the heartstrings of the West. Because we can't believe this. It's not possible. But the one common statement the thing you said at the beginning of this rant, it's very common globally, is anti-Semitism. The hate of the Jew trumps all. It's amazing because what unites the extreme or the hate, it's hating the Jew. And I don't care what country you're in, and I don't care what your beliefs are. This is the common thread. I'm not saying everybody does it, but it's a common thread in all countries. Anywhere there are Jews, anti-Semitism is high and disproportionate. So of course, if world can play on all this, great. But instead of the world saying, let's erase the word Jew for a second and put human, would it make a difference? And it should. But the hatred is so deep that you can't imagine the Jew as a human. It's
David,
vile.
David, I'm going to interrupt you. To everyone that loves the gay, lesbian, LGBTQIA plus movement, if you stand with Israel, you stand for your freedom.
Stuart,
If you
you want to hear
stand anywhere else,
the best line I heard about that?
yep.
When this was a gay gentleman on Bill Maher who said, queers for Palestine is like saying blacks for the KKK. Do you understand? Like, there's just such a misunderstanding. The hate towards the Jew is blinding that even the gay community who would get ultimate support from Israel sides with the other side. The left, the AOCs, the Ilhan Omars, the Rashida Tlaibs, all that, the left, the Bernie Sanders hates the Jew. The liberals, those so-called progressives, hate the Jew, hates Israel. And you could see it with the Democratic Party as they go further and further away, and the Liberal Party of Canada going even further away, but says, we have your back. It's bipartisan. But in reality, it's like, remember the movie Hunt for Red October? When the politician said, I'm a politician. On one hand, I'll kiss your baby. On the other hand, I'm trying to take away the lollipop.
Yeah.
That is what's happening right now.
David, wrapping it up. Thanks for joining today. Hope you enjoyed listening. We are, again, the Rant Network. David's on the other side today because he felt like being different. We hope you enjoyed this conversation, gained some valuable insight. We appreciate your support. We appreciate you joining us next time for another thought-provoking conversation. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern, rain or shine. In the meantime, don't forget to join us on social media, share our thoughts, check out our snazzy website that David spent weeks and weeks and weeks developing, and catch us on your local vertical, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Shopify, I don't know. All the 30 verticals that are out there. We love you. We'll